Good evening. Good evening. This is Alan Cheney here with the third week of the crash course ASCP ASPC crash course assisted living placement staffing consulting. Yeah, so today we're going to be discussing a very important topic, probably the most important topic of the course is called Fill the Pipeline, Build Consistent Referrals and Visibility. So let's get right into it. We're going to be talking about the role of a community liaison. Marketing referral connection. So direct marketing brings leads directly to your business. Community relationships generates valuable referrals, and combined approach is the combined approach is essential for consistent occupancy and or home care clients. Direct marketing is things like online with like running ads on Google ads, social media ads like Facebook or Meta, YouTube, these different places where you could do direct marketing, even getting out like putting out signs and like I'm an advocate of putting out road signs. I really believe in that. That's what started my company off and got us our first few clients, and we still get clients from that route. Street signs. These are different forms of direct marketing, direct mail, things of that nature. But community relationships are key. Getting out into community, and I can't stress it enough because I don't feel like enough new operators are doing it. Is getting out in this community and sharing your resources with the right people in your market and combining these approaches leads to a very successful long-term longevity in your business. You might get lucky with your first couple marketing pieces, whether that's, like I said, direct mail um, or online ads. You might get some calls. You might get some hits here and there. You might get lucky. You might get some clients, and like your first 3 or 4 months of doing that. But it's going to cost you. It's a very high cost to running ads consistently to get leads. Now you want to have that part of your system, but you don't want to be fully dependent on it. It's just because it just gets really, really taxing and expensive. So you want to make sure that you also have that community outreach going, and we'll get deeper into it. So what is a community liaison? It's the agency face, trust builder, brand ambassador, lead generator. It represents your brand in the community. So that's you in the first when you first get started. I suggest you doing this role, you maximizing this role. Um, you want to because you know the most about your company. You had the most passion about your new company. You know exactly what you need, and you know exactly what you can offer. Um, and you want to work out the kinks of your program. So you don't want to just hire somebody early and you barely know what's going on. You haven't done it. You haven't really been out into these facilities and these different organizations to push your marketing to these people. You haven't developed any relationships. So what I always suggest is you going out there first, you making the first, 100, 200 contacts, and then, as you follow up and, build the relationships with the people who going to stick, and you start to realize people who not, so interested in it, and you kind of, narrow it down to like maybe 150, 75 people strong, people who want to do, business with you or at least want to hear you out, who will potentially send you referrals. The next step is, obviously hiring somebody to do this for you. But that person has to have the same type of enthusiasm. You want to make sure they have some sales experience. Even if they don't come with sales experience, you could put them through some training, like the Sandler training, or just have them read some books and y'all go over some stuff as far as mock sit downs, and y'all just trying to train them, preparing them to what they're going to expect. And you could teach them much better if you've already been through it and you've already developed some of these relationships. And after you've been out there, you sending them to the same people that you met with to deepen those bonds, to deepen those relationships, to develop those relationships a little deeper over time. That's much easier for them to follow up as it's another member of your team going into these facilities than going in there cold. So the agency face, you want to make sure they're clean cut, and they're squared away. They know how to talk. They know how, they're presentable. They have transportation. They can get around, stuff like that. They, you're going to be building trust is a major part of that. So you want to develop these relationships on. The first thing of trust is just be doing what you say and saying what you do, and being upfront, and also being on time. Being on time. If you say you're going to be somewhere at a specific time, you're going to meet them, be there a little early. If they're expecting some literature or some email response, after the meeting, or you said you're going to send them some literature, don't hesitate to do it. Send it. And that's like you build trust by being dependable with somebody they can depend on. If you say you're going to do a presentation, or you say you're going to bring bingo, or you're going to bring this type of event or this type of activity to their facility, to their company, whatever the case may be, make sure you do it and you do it well. Don't make promises you can't keep, and always over deliver. That's what builds trust. The brand ambassador, as a brand ambassador, this is multiple hats they're wearing. This is another hat that they're wearing, the brand ambassador. They are you in the beginning, obviously. You in the beginning as the community liaison are going to be doing this, but as you hire someone over time, the whole goal is to keep your services top of mind. So the survey says who when they ran a survey, they say who do the top referral sources do business with? They say it's the person that they like the most and the person that they last spoke with or they last seen. So if you're the person that they like and the person that they last talked to, you're gonna get the referral. These are just based on the stats and the data. So it's the person that they like the most and the person that they last spoken with. Those are going to be the people when they get the referral. So when the discharge planner gets a potential resident for your facility, or potential placement for your placement agency, or potential home care client for your home care service, the person that they're going to call when that particular patient is ready to leave discharge is going to be the person that they last spoke to, and it's the person that they like the most. So they can speak to somebody they don't like them so much, so they'll go to the next one. But if they spoke to them and they like you, your chances are getting that lead is much greater. So the brand ambassador is very important for them to stay top of mind, be there often. I like to say every three to 4 weeks, you following up, and they like you the most. Obviously, just have a good attitude, come with a smile on your face, always, bring some light into the office when you get there. And then that's a lead generator. So the community liaison at the end of the day is going to be the one that's building your brand, and generating leads for all points of service. So the home care service, they're going to be bringing home care clients. They're going to be bringing placement placement leads, and they're going to be bringing residents if you have a facility. So the community liaison is a very, very, very important position in your business. And like I said, you want to do this stuff in the beginning for yourself, but eventually you want to hire somebody so you could be working on other things. And if you have another one, if you have somebody out there in the field day to day, you can, you don't have to be out there, because a lot of times there's other things to be doing. Even though the community liaison is a very important um position, you still will have to do other things that, to keep your agency up and running and growing, and maybe training a second one, or, dealing with caregivers and things like that. But you definitely want to make sure as soon as you can afford it. It's after your first or second client, you have some income coming in, putting some boots on the ground as a community liaison. Obviously, why you should act as one first. You have the personal vision. No one sells your vision like you. Learn the language, master referral communication. There's certain things and certain there's certain things you're going to learn out there in the field that you just can't imagine without doing it. So you have to get out there yourself, meet with the discharge planners, meet with the physicians, meet with the discharge nurses, meet with the social workers, meet with these different referral sources, the decision makers. You have to meet with the decision makers. And then what you're going to do is obviously you're going to build the foundation. And the foundation is built by you going out there meeting, like I said, 75, maybe 100, 100, 200 people in the beginning. And it seems like a lot, but if you're doing 25 a week, 2 months, that's 200. So that's not as much as you think. And if you're like we like to target at least the top five wealthiest counties in our area, you could narrow it down and still get, 200 to top five. You could probably get over 400 or 500 referrals, but you have to be systemized and you got to make sure you're doing this consistently so you don't want to overload yourself. But like I said, if you do 25 different referrals a week for 2 months, that's obviously going to be 200 at least. So start there, think about that, and then you just go back and start from the beginning and follow ups and email and revisit and follow up on conversations and send material and stuff like that, dropping off material. So these are the things that the foundation that you're going to build. So once you build this foundation, then you hire someone and send them into these same places to kind of like deepen the relationship. So that's why you should act as one first. That's the most important piece is you want to, you have to, a lot of people get caught up in this shy piece and this thing of where they don't want to be out there. They want to hide behind the internet and, get everybody else to do it. And it's not like you won't, unless you have like a large budget starting off and you could really have somebody trained and skilled, maybe with some community liaison background that you can just put plug into that position, then I get it. But if you don't have a large income, if you don't have large startup funds, and you just you just kind of trying to keep it low until you start making some money. You're not trying to spend so much money up front. You get out here and do this stuff. But me personally, I think even if you do have a large, you know, you have a decent amount of funds to hire somebody in the beginning, I still think it's imperative that you get out there and do it, especially if you're going to be operating and managing the person who does it. So I still think it's vital that you get out there and do it yourself first. And what the role responsibility consists of is weekly visit, regular FaceTime with referral sources, market material delivery, marketing materials, and event invitations. Um, Follow up consistent communications and updates, service representation, promote all service lines. Like we were saying, say for example, you have 100 referral sources in your community. You spend a month, you go visit 25 a week. So in a month, you done visited 100 people. Next month, you start from the beginning. You may not have to go to face next time. It might just be an email follow up. It might be a phone call, and it might be a visit. They might, be expecting you to come. You might have to deliver some more marketing material. You pass out brochures, business cards in your marketing folder. You might have an event invitations that you might be doing an event, or you might want to come to their facility and offer some type of an event or some type of activity for them, some type of seminar or activity. And the follow up is very important. Just constant communication and updates. Different facilities have different things going on. Different social workers need different things, and you're just there. You're offering them your service, but then if they might need extra things or they might have ideas and things like that, but you're building this, you have you become part of their team. You become part of their team. So when they have issues or they need help or whatever they need, you're there. You're someone that they can communicate with, um, that relates to the services that you offer, whether that's placing someone, finding home care for someone, or bringing someone as a resident to one of your own facilities. So this is basically the roles that you need to focus on. When you're, like I said, when you first go out there, and then obviously when you're training your community liaison themselves. So weekly visits, regular FaceTime referral sources, material delivery, marketing materials, and that consists of usually your brochures, business card, brochure rack, and a marketing folder, and any other thing that you might have going on as far as events or activities that you want to bring or make them aware of. And then again, following up, consistent communication and updates. And then, just always remember that you're not there promoting one thing, you're promoting everything that you guys offer. And that's, like I said, home care, assisted living, and placement. Top referral sources to target hospitals, discharge planners and social workers at hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, facilities transitioning patients from home, rehab centers, physical therapy and recovery facilities, elder law, attorneys specialized in senior needs, and community centers. That could be churches, senior organizations, adult daycare centers, bingos, and stuff like that. So these are where you're going to really be focusing on. So what I would suggest, go into your five, if you got five counties or three counties or two counties or wherever you're going to be at, search hospitals. Get all the hospitals. This stuff can be put in ChatGPT really simply, and you'll get a list. You'll get with these five options. It's no way that you can't get at least 200. I mean, depending. I mean, I'm saying 200, but because I'm in a very populated area, but at least 100, very easy 100. Um, that's 25 each. Maybe it's not 25 hospitals, but there do hospitals do have like smaller branch offices or like satellite offices that you can also visit that do specialized things. So you'll have the major hospital, then they'll have like these little um satellite offices as well that you can also visit and start to develop referral sources. Nursing facilities, obviously, there should be quite a few in your community, at least a few, rehab centers also, um, physical therapy and recovery facilities. So you can also not just put rehab, you can put physical therapies, elder law attorneys. You want to also target these, these offices as well. You'll be surprised with how often they come across different families and deal with probate and POAs. They deal with a lot of POAs, the power of attorneys. So they know the people who actually need the care and need the help, or whose families need the help, or stuff like that. So you definitely want to start building relationships with these guys, with these people. Community centers, it's like I said, churches and senior organizations. The churches is a great one, just to get your marketing out there and start building community and building relationships in the church community, in all religious communities, not just the, Christian, but there's others as well. So senior organizations like adult daycare centers, they have a lot of places where seniors can go um to play bingo and like the YMCA and things like that. So search these up, and then they have like nonprofit organizations as well, like the Alzheimer's and veterans. They all have different community organizations. There's a lot of different community organizations that support seniors. So when you're searching this stuff, put this stuff in ChatGPT. Then you start building your list, and then you start, you ask for the name. You want the name, the address, the phone number, and the email. You put, I want all the hospitals, the name, the address, the discharge planner's phone number, and the discharge planner's email, the social worker's email, the social worker's extension, the social worker um name and phone number. Same with the skilled facilities, skilled nursing facilities. Same with the rehab. Same with the elder law, and same with the senior communities, the senior organizations and churches and stuff like that. So yeah, 1 second. Create a referral source list. So we said we have Google here, but what we're going to be using is ChatGPT. Um, you put each source in there. So like we were saying, rehab centers and physical therapy. Say physical therapy. Put physical therapy offices in your county. Start with whatever county, your first county. I want a list of all the physical therapy offices in Cobb County. And I want the name, phone number, email, and address. Boom. You can get 20, you can get 10, you can get 15, you can get 30. Boom. Then you got, you cut and paste that, put that on the list for your county. And you do that with each other rehab centers and churches and, nursing facilities, all for that county. You're going to have a huge list. And then what you want to do with that list is you want to put it in your map. You could take that list and say, just give me all the addresses from this list. And then you could say, organize these addresses in an effective visitation route. So I don't be backtracking. So what the ChatGPT will do will create an actual route for you. You tell it where your starting point is, and your ending point is probably going to be your starting point. So you put your starting point in the front, say I want to start here and I want to end here, and I want to go to all these locations, and then that's what it does. So you'll have your list, you have your route, and you just make sure you document and track everything that happens at the actual visits. Who you met, what you spoke about, what type of feedback you got, what material you left, and what the next step is, what's the follow up. And you put this in something like a Zoho, uh, um, a customer relationship management software. Zoho was free, so you put Zoho CRM, HubSpot CRM, something like that. I like Zoho. So this is how you create your referral list, and this is how you research them, organize them, and then document them. You put them all in that Zoho in your Zoho CRM. This will help you stay like clear, and you can you organize it in a way where everything is very clean and organized, so you can always pass this off to somebody else. Hey, look, these are the routes, these are the notes, these are what we need to follow up with. These are the next steps with these particular um, referral sources in these particular counties. And that's it. So that's how you do that. That's how you create your referral source list and organize it and visit and obviously document it and notes for further follow-ups. Outreach strategy. First contact, phone, email, or drop-in introduction. I would prefer a drop-in introduction. Some people would rather make a phone call, that's fine. Rather get an email, that's a little slighter. Like that's kind of risky because some people respond to cold emails if it's an official email and you did it, you sent it to the right person in the correct fashion and it didn't get like blocked by spam or anything. But and then phone as well. Phone, you can always call if they don't answer or you get sent to some kind of phone recording, leave a detailed message. But it's kind of hard to, you don't want that to be your only thing. So like when it comes to phone and email, you're back on their time and you don't want you want to be on your time. So if you drop in, you're on your time. You're going to get some kind of you're going to get some kind of FaceTime with someone. If you don't be able to sit down with the social worker at that point, whoever's at the front desk, they'll be able to give you their card, and then you can call them directly, let them know that you dropped in to meet them. You can leave material there for them. You could possibly leave a brochure rack in the office somewhere. and your marketing folder with somebody at the front desk to give to your put on their desk, something like that. So that's that. The second contact is schedule a formal visit or video call. So the first drop-in introduction, they didn't know you were coming, obviously. So you can't expect to have like a real formal sit down with them, but you can schedule that, or you can schedule that video a video call after that contact. And then obviously you can you if you like I said, if you get them on the phone, they can do that, and if they respond to the email, you can do that as well. Again, schedule that visual that formal visit or video call, and then during that, once you do actually get that formal visit or video call, that's when you provide, all the information about your company, educational information, the services that you offer, different resources, and then updates on how you guys can move forward and work together. Obviously you're going to be doing a lot of talking about what you offer, but also make a lot of time for what they need and what they're struggling with in their office and in their position. So, what's the company dealing with? What are some of the things that this facility is struggling with? And then what are some of the things you're personally struggling with? Let's see if we can help, see if my agency, because we do a lot, see if we can help, and then get some feedback. And then from what they tell you, you create a plan based on that to add some type of value to that referral source. Consistent communication, regular check-ins on or touch points, weekly, monthly newsletters or availability updates, monthly, quarterly, events and open house invitations. This is for whether you're doing placement or home care, or assisted living. Um, so you definitely want to have something going out at all times. Weekly check-ins, monthly newsletters and emails, and quarterly events. You want to stay dialed in, even if you're not doing events. You can send other people's events. Hey, this is going on over here close to your facility. This is going on over here. This is this. Or this assist if you're doing placement. This facility is having open houses, or if you have your own facility, we're doing an open house here, yada yada yada. So you get that. That's what you. But the point of it is, the whole point of everything you're doing is to remain top of mind, be somebody that adds value, and somebody who they see on a consistent basis, and obviously somebody they like. That's the goal. All of these things are just getting you to a place where you're very, very connected and consistent with these referral sources. So when they want to send their leads, when they have residents, when they have placement opportunities, they have home care opportunities, they think of you. That's the point. These are some of the things that you want to have for your marketing material. Obviously, like agency brochures, overview of all three service lines, um, professional contact information, obviously like your business cards, and then supporting materials. There's quite a few things that we could put in the supporting materials, from um, how to send referrals, um, frequently asked questions, testimonials from different clients that you served, or friends and family if you haven't served any yet. Um, your license, your insurance that you carry, caregiver profiles, stuff like that. Pictures from if you're doing placement or you have your own facility, pictures of the facility or details about the facilities that you represent, or your own facility and services and stuff like that you offer in, your home care. So you'll have that as the support materials that you're dropping off to them. So these are your marketing materials that we were discussing earlier. So you're gonna have your brochures, business cards, brochure rack, and then your marketing folder. It's always good to have a strong digital presence, obviously. So we're thinking about website with all your information, Google Business. So Google Business is like when you search a company and you get their Google page, that's a Google Business profile. And you see like everything that they offer, their hours, their website, their reviews, everything. So you want to make sure that's all up and set up. It's real easy to set up through Google for free. And then obviously social media as well. Um, where you're constantly updating and different things like that so people can look into what you got going on. You definitely want to have a Facebook page and a LinkedIn page, a Facebook business page and a LinkedIn business page, not your personal profile, but your business page, and your your Facebook business page and your LinkedIn business page. So, and you're just constantly updating. Say, for example, oh, had a great meeting today with such and such at this facility. Looking forward to working with them. Blah 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 blah. We're looking for, these are some of the things that you're going to be posting on your social media. And then a lot of these places gonna have events and stuff like that. So you get your table and you're going out and you're representing your organization, your company, and you're taking pictures and stuff like that. You can add to your social media as well. This is an example of an outreach calendar, just to give you an idea what you could be working on. Um, so hospitals, say you say you want to focus on hospitals on Monday, discharge planner visits, and then Tuesday you do SNS follow-up meetings. Wednesday, you do a elder law lunch and learn. Thursday, you do in-person referral drop-ins. Friday, review and log activity. So this is just like a basic week to give you an idea of how you can schedule and plan your week. And again, this is how you once you get a really good system for yourself, you also can start to teach this to your community liaison that you're going to bring on eventually. So they have a basic schedule because it's kind of like if they don't have a schedule or not like an outline, they'll kind of just be kind of like all over the place. So you want to make sure there is some kind of structure and organization to what they're doing on a weekly basis. It's easier to track and it's easier to make sure they're being productive. So CRM tracking or for outreach. Choose systems. So spreadsheets or free CRM like HubSpot. I like Zoho. Document interaction. So whoever you're talking to, make sure you're tracking that contact. You always get their business cards. Most people at these facilities, most social workers, discharge planners, everybody has their own personal business card. So you want to make sure you're getting everyone's business card, uploading it into your software. And not only that, you're putting the notes in there as well, and then the responses that you got from them. And then, obviously you want to set reminders to schedule follow-ups automatically. So within that CRM system, you'll be able to say, okay, I met with such and such on Monday. They told me to follow up in 2 weeks on a Thursday that they have more time for me to talk with them, so we're going to do a phone call or video call in 2 weeks on the Thursday at a specific time. You're not going to remember this. So you have to set reminders. Maybe you can remember it in the first couple weeks, but after that, it's going to be, if you're doing it consistent enough and you have enough going on, you won't be able to remember. So you're going to have to use these reminders. And this is something also that you want to make sure that your community liaison is trained on as well, inputting everything into your CRM. There's different event opportunities that you can always create. This is something that's really awesome for that you can start doing in your community, especially if you like, events and hosting and, networking and stuff like this. These are very valuable. So you create value through education, networking, and support. So you can always bring some type of educational seminar or interactive session with their community or with their office. You can always host networking events in your community, and you can also do like support groups and things like that. All three of these things, and then also activities, and you could bring activities and stuff as well, fun activities as well to these different communities. But these are very, very important. They build your brand. They let people get to meet you on a personal level. They really get to see what you're doing out here in the community, and it brings people in. And then as you're bringing people in, you're again, you're focusing on developing these relationships for long term, so you can be a long term. asset of value add to the community in to the senior community in in your backyard. That's very important. So hosting community events or, through education, networking, and then support is very important. So don't overlook this. This could be something fun, exciting, and something that always brings, that level of energy to what you're doing. So when do you hire? When do you hire a community liaison? When you have proven scripts, your approach is working. You've received some referrals. You generated some consistent results, and you're ready to scale. Maybe you have five clients or three clients that are, solid. You got some referrals in, or you got two or three residents in your facility, and you made a couple placements. Now it's time to start looking for, a community liaison. I wouldn't suggest going out here and trying to hire somebody, like I said, before you actually done it yourself. Some people do that because they, like I said, they want to be behind the scenes, or they want to be in this mindset of, oh, I'm the owner, I'm the behind the scenes person, I'm not forward facing. I want to have somebody else forward facing. And if that's really, that's your personality and that's what you want to do and you have the resources to fund that, then okay. But I still suggest, you getting out there and getting to know the process, doing it yourself. And once you have those proven scripts, those consistent results, and you're ready to scale, then it's time to delegate. What to look for, what to look for in a hire. So personality, professional, personable, and persistent, meaning that they're not only professional, obviously, they can communicate and all that as well. They're personable, but they have to be persistent. They have to be willing to keep, keep pushing past no's until they get those yeses. Keep pushing past, this referral source that maybe not be interested in working with us. Keep going to the next one, not losing that enthusiasm, that excitement, that motivation just because they gotta know. They have to be able to be persistent. That's the key. Professionalism, personable, obviously, but persistence is personal, is important. And this is part of their personality. And you gotta be able to figure out that early on to know what type of person you're dealing with. And there's some questionnaires and stuff like that that you can present certain questions you can ask during the interviews about their past experiences where they had to show persistence. Maybe if they're younger, they might have showed it in sports, or they have some experience. Maybe they've done it in different areas of sales, or um, whatever. You just want to make sure that they have showed that grit, that ability to persist through rejections and through no's. Obviously, they need to have strong communication skills, verbal and written, obviously typed. They have to be able to type those notes out, communicate well with the referral sources that they're meeting with, and maintain good verbal and written communication to keep those referrals ongoing and keep those relationships ongoing. Um, knowledge. So senior care background or aptitude, meaning that they have senior care experience on some level, or they have the aptitude to learn. They're willing to learn and get, deep into what you do, understand the services that you offer, what the value you bring to the community, and what you're trying to do with your business, how you're trying to grow and scale your business. Versatility can represent all service lines. So again, just making sure that they really understand all of the service that you offered, what we're teaching here as far as assisted living, placement, like home care, placement, obviously those three, not coaching. They're not going to be doing anything about for your coaching, but your home care, your assisted living, and your placement services. So that you want to make sure that they're representing those three service lines well. I would like I said, for like the first 3 months, 4 months, you could be doing this yourself, and then probably like that 6 month, you could really start hiring and take your time hiring. You put some ads out on Indeed. And you could look around Indeed and see what other people are paying and get a kind of price point of what you're gonna pay. You could offer some different type of bonuses and stuff like that for the referrals that they bring in or placements that they assist with. So you can offer bonuses on top of salary or hourly pay. So you just look around on Indeed and see what's out there, what the other people are doing, and what the expectations are. So, okay, this is in a clean slide. So, say cost versus ROI. So, cost, say if you paying your community liaison 40 to 60K monthly revenue, they should be bringing is 4 to 6K. So, with one or two placements or, a referral, two to three referrals, they're making their money. You'll see value from that. Um, you'll see value from that community liaison. You'll see, value from their work. And a lot of people say, man, I'm paying this person 40, 50, $60,000 a year. But if they're bringing you in 3 to 6K a month, come on, man, let's think about this. Let's do these numbers. And they're doing one or two placements a month. They'll really, you'll start to see how much, they really, really bring value to your company. So, you could just basically do the math. If they're bringing, like I said, four, five, $6,000 into your agency every month, and it might not happen like that overnight, but eventually, once if you dig down and really create those roots in the community, then bring them in to really get it going and to nurture it and grow it, and get deeper and deeper into these relationships and deeper into the community. Um, there really be a profitable source for you. It's going to be your number one um, lead generating source. This in-house. This is not hiring a placement agency. This is not running, countless ads online. This is something that you have developed within your organization, within your agency, that can lead to these different referrals, placements, and residents for your facility, your home care business, or your placement services. So don't underestimate the power of what they can bring to your business, because they can do a lot for you and make you grow at a rapid pace once they're doing a great, once they have a great relationship with these different referral sources, you have a good system in place and there's some consistency. They really can bring a lot of value to your agency. So this was the end of week 3 training. Oh, I think I had it for week 4, but okay, it's week 3. But this is the third week of the training, but I had this plan for week 4, and I just wanted to do it today, this week, opposed to next week. So this is week 3. So create a referral source list, make contact, conduct at least 3 cold calls, or cold visits or calls. I would suggest calls. Make at least 3 visits, build a tracker, set up CRM, which I say either Zoho or HubSpot, and send updates, um, email all partners. So once you create your list, once you got a good list in the areas that you want to start reaching out to, go to 3 places this coming week. Go, visit, obviously make sure you have your brochures, business cards, and marketing folder together. But once you have those things together and brochure racks, go make some visits. Go reach out. Or if you don't have all the stuff together, you're not ready to actually go into the office, make some calls. Instead of making 3 calls, make 5 calls. Just get a feel for what it's like to start reaching out to people as a business owner, as a agency owner, as a placement agency, as a assisted living facility owner, as an operator. And then also build your CRM, set up your CRM. Just, and it's very important. That's going to be very important over the long run, because then you'll see like all the people you contacted, all the people you want to contact, and then you'll begin to see the notes and the relationships build over time as you constantly putting in more information next to these different or these different place people that you have input into your system. You'll start to see who's really gonna be sending you some referrals, who's excited about what you're doing, who you gonna kind of dive into. Like I said, you can pull a list of 200, and it might boil down to 175, maybe even just 50 people who really want to work with you. But 50 people that really want to work with you is a really good start for any agency or placement agency, home care service, or a resident, actual residential assisted living. So make sure you build your CRM, and then also make sure you send out updates to all the people that you get, all the potential referrals that you got, those lists that you created. Email all of them. Email is free. You generate a nice email that relates directly to them. Use ChatGPT to help you drop emails um that emails them in a personalized way that connects to them personally, not just a generic email. Like create an email personally for each one of them. Like I said, if you pull 100, it's only 100 emails. 200, if it's only 200, don't try to bulk send all people the same thing. Sit there and do 50 or 25 today, 25 tomorrow, 25. You know what I mean, and get it done. So yeah, look forward to working with you guys next week. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section. If you want to have a one-on-one, feel free to call, and this is just this is week 3 of the 5-week crash course, but this section was planned for week 4, but I wanted to push it to week 3, and then we're going to discuss assisted living in week 4. So thanks a lot, and we'll looking forward to helping you and working with you soon. Peace.